So now we will start the chapter 3, location and transportation. Following our study in the LEED process and LEED categories, this will be considered after the integrative process, the second category. Or we can think it as a technical part, the first category. Here are the credits. There is no prerequisites here in this chapter. uh, Why? Maybe because it's related to location and sometimes you don't have a control over the location, but there are many other credits that you can achieve some points here in this category and improve your LEED score. Okay, let's go credit by credit. And as we know, every credit here will give you some points, as we know from LEED process. And if you want to know the exact points for every credit, you need to go to the LEED scorecard, which I have uploaded to the Google Drive under the resources file. So the intent here, or the objective, to reduce environmental impact associated with site selection and transportation and promote healthy lifestyle. Okay. First credit. Now we'll move credit by credit now. We move now to the easy part, or to the part that maybe it's very close to you. It's a technical. How to select the site in compliance with LEED, if possible. If not, if the owner already selected the site, then you have a based on your compliance. If you comply, you can take these points. If you not, you will not take these points. It's not a mandatory. It's not a prerequisite. So, sensitive land protection. Avoid development on environmentally sensitive land and reduce environmental impact because of the development. This is the requirements here. How to avoid developments in environmentally sensitive land? First, we need to know what are the sensitive lands. Sensitive lands that I want to avoid. Farmland. Farmland. By the way, any requirements here you need to remember by numbers. By numbers. Everything here you in this slide. Farmland. Land located close to water bodies within 100 feet away. 100 feet meaning around 30 meters. 1 foot equal 30 centimeters, right? So land within 100 feet away from water bodies. Flood prone area. Flood prone area that is subject to flood at a percent of 1%. Like how they measure it? You measure in the last 100 years, have ever any flood happen in this area or no? Examples are many. So you need to build in a safe land, not land on where the water streams or the flood come. It will be the stream for flood. Land identified for endangered species. What are the endangered species? Endangered species are population which are at risk of extinct. Second, avoid development of sensitive sites. The wetland. What is a wetland? Wetland is not as a water body that have water all the year. No, wetland is area whose soil saturated with moisture seasonally. And it can be permanent or seasonally. 50 foot, 50 feet away. You need to go far 50 feet, which is not much. It's just near beside. Yani. Select a previously developed site. So avoid development in sensitive land and select a previous developed site. Now we know what is previous developed site. Site like what we see in the photo is a previously developed, so you can build anywhere. There is a road already. There are some communities there, so you can build in these sites. It's altered by paving. It has paving, construction, land use. Of course, it will require a permit to build. Why we build in previously developed? To keep the greenfield. What is the greenfield site? Greenfield site are the sites that have not been ever developed. This is the next credit. We call it high priority site. High priority sites. Of course, here, let's say, a credit like this, you need to know to document everything. So you will need Google Maps or permits for the land. Okay. Any paper from the local department or government showing that this is a previously developed or within the development plan. So all this should be collected as a document or a paper. For sure, we are not going in depth here in the requirement in details or details of details. But if you want the details, you can go for LEED AP reference guide and check in a specific point what are the details here. What are more details? Documentation exactly 1, 2, 3. How many points? I give to you already for the checklist. This for if you want to know more about specific item related to your work, for example, so you can go and check. I will put for you the reference guide for LEED AP BD plus C for info only, but our course LEED GA only required what we are explaining here. High priority sites. Sites that are, we say in the first credit, sensitive site. Now, high priority means sites that we prefer, it's preferred to develop on these sites. So it is the other way or the opposite of the first credit. What are the high priority sites? First, the intent. Every credit will start with the intent. The intent here is to encourage project location in area with development constraint. So why development constraints? We will explain this during the chapter through the strategies. This kind of constraint is project to infill site of existing historic district. Existing historic district. And the historic here have two meanings, guys. One meaning it's really historic district. Like you are building in Egypt in the history area from the pharaohs and so on. And in here you need permits, of course. But here he don't really mean the historic exactly. He means the historic like old district that already built like this. He means this is the meaning of historic district. Area that's already there. Maybe this house 50 years, this 100 years, this 30 years. So you infill here, infill inside of existing historic district. This option one to choose preferred site. Second option or second constraint that is preferred to develop in these sites, brownfield area. Why? Because you will do remediation. You will correct this. So brownfield, first we need to know the brownfield definition. Brownfield is contaminated sites. Again, brownfield, contaminated sites. This is the definition. Add one more word only, requires remediation. Since it's contaminated, it requires remediation. Are you with me? See how it's contaminated, maybe here asbestos or some land pollution, air pollution, any water pollution, all this. This is a brownfield. You can document the brownfield by many ways, by site inspection and report from environmental specialist, or having laboratory. If it's clear like that, this is a brownfield, that's fine. But if it's not clear, then you can have laboratory test. And these details are in LEED AP. Site declared as a brownfield by government agencies. If not, then you need to go to any organization or any specialist that or expert let's say environmental specialist to give you a report about site like EIA, environmental site assessment, that shows this is a contaminated site. The last option is based on the government plan. Like you go to the planning department in your city and you see what are areas are priority designation. What means priority designation? المناطق or areas that are assigned or will be put in the priority to be developed. This means priority designation. In USA, for example, they put it in red color. Why priority designation or priority for development? Because these areas have lack of services, lack of health services, education services, polluted, random development, and so on. That's why they put it. This is the third constraint. So in this credit, you need to remember the three constraints: infill historic district, brownfield, priority designation. If you don't remember it this way, you will get confused in the exam. Okay? Why priority designation? Why brownfield? And why historic district? Because they are all previously developed. They are not greenfields, right? So when you build in these types of sites, they put these types of sites as a priority because you will protect or preserve the greenfield sites. Before we move to next credit, so surrounding density and diverse uses, let's again think about it, the previous one. The overall thinking here is to protect the land that is virgin land, that is green field. Okay, so we need to build in other types of land that have some constraints. That's why this credit name, I will go back just to remind you because I know you forgot. The name of the credit is high priority sites, the sites that is preferred for development, which is again infill developments, brownfield, and definition of brownfield you need to know here, priority designation related to government developments. And this is significance, for example. Now moving to the next credit, of course, now you are collecting points. Every credit you need to document. Now we are only in the land acquisition, land use, which land to select. So you think who will do this work? Maybe the owner. If the owner aware of LEED early in the process, he will start to do these credits and he will then give to the consultant to continue working in other credits related to design and construction. If not, then you lost around 3 points now. Okay, it's not a big deal like what we said in the first LEED process, and you need to go and review again LEED process and know how the points work, what are the rating system, what are the categories, and so on. This we already explained in the previous chapters. So next credit is surrounding density and diverse use. As you can see, it's two parts credit. Surrounding density, diverse use. Why I stop here? Why I analyze the name? Why? Because I want myself and you to remember what is it before study, because in the exam you will forget all. Surrounding density and diverse use. This is one credit, two requirements. Surrounding density, there is calculation here. You need to calculate the development density. Diverse use, there is a services. Diverse uses meaning services, like you need a grocery, a bank, okay, and so on. This is diverse uses. So diverse uses means equal services. So intent also to promote development in area with existing development and walkability. All the intent are same for the credits that are related to location and transportation. But the important here is the strategy. We said surrounding density and diverse use. So there is requirement for surrounding density. Here we need to know. LEED encourage high dense development. So you think that this development is better or a development like normal city or area where there are villas only and so on. No, LEED encourage high dense development like this. Of course, with a proper transportation and linkage between these areas without traffic jams and so on. LEED encourage high dense development. How we calculate the density? We calculate the density, which is explained here this way. You just come here and let's say in the entrance of the building, we go into entrance of the building. We draw one circle quarter in the plan, of course, quarter mile, quarter mile. You calculate it in meter, okay, and make a circle. Assume this is a circle. So this is the radius, quarter mile of the circle. From here to here, quarter mile. Here is the entrance of the building. So this is a LEED building, the one I have here, the tall building. I need to calculate the density of the buildings within quarter miles. So I need to make a simple equation. Calculate the gross floor area in the top GFA to the area of this circle, to the total land area. Land area. A is land area, or LA, land area. How I calculate land area first, which is the easy one? By R square. By R here, I have R. I know R square. By R square is the area of the land. Here. Got it. What about GFA? This is a big job. Every building within here, we calculate the total floor area. Total floor area. Suppose I have one building like this, one tall building like this, sorry, and it has 10 story. If every story is 1000 or 100 square meter, and it's 10 story, so the total gross floor area for this building is what? 1000. 10 by 100, 1000. So 1000 plus 1000 here plus 2000 here plus and so on, you get the total gross floor area. Divide by this, it will give you a number. This number will analyze in LEED AP. If this number above this number, you are complying. Below this number, you are not complying. Got it? So I hope you get this. All right. One, this is the surrounding density you finish. Of course, in LEED APs, will give you more details, different types of developments, and so on. So LEED AP always the next step of this. So it's not difficult. It just go to more requirements. Diverse use, the second part of this credit is services. So you need to have bank, restaurant, supermarket, landmart, park. Park means yeah, like a park, a green area and so on. Not parking for cars. Pharmacy. All these are from site can be within half mile. You need to remember this half mile. You need to remember this. Within half mile. Can you see it? Half mile walking distance. This is the trick here. Walking distance, meaning don't measure half mile here, straight line to here. You will not jump in the top of the roofs of the building to go there. You are going walking distance. So calculate it in a safe walking distance. Safe walking distance. Okay. 10 services. One note here, ATM and vending machines. Vending machine like Pepsi, when you put your credit card or coins and you get Pepsi, these are not basic services. They are not diverse use. Okay. Of course, in LEED APs, you will categorize this building and basic service in different way, like some categories related to community and so on. But in LEED GA, as we said, we take the basic that when you lead when you come and read to the LEED BD plus C, you will understand. I know that. I know that. I just get some more detailed information. That is the difference between LEED AP and LEED GA only. Only the difference. That's why all of you after this course can read the LEED AP manual, especially the area that related to your work, and you will understand it, you will apply it, no issue, without taking LEED BD plus C full course, but at least you will manage your work related to LEED. Of course, if you want LEED BD plus C, we can give LEED BD plus C. So surrounding density and diverse use. Why? All of you like to live in an area with density. Density, why? When you walk in the street, you will find everything surrounding you. So it's socially better, economically better, okay, environmentally even better, because when we live in more compact and dense area, we are leaving the green fields, the open areas safe. We are not consuming more land. خلاص? And also it will have more services. That's why this credit is surrounding density and diverse uses. Diverse uses and diverse uses we said is as services, and we highlighted how many services within how long distance. 10 services within half-mile distance. Smart gross. What is a smart gross? This is related to the previous credit, and we just need to know what does it mean, smart gross. Smart gross means my city will increase without using green field. So protect the undeveloped land. That's what we do in LEED location and transportation. We want always to reuse buildings, reuse land, dense area with services. Okay, we don't say go and build villa 10 kilometer, 100 kilometer from the city alone and give it pipes and service for 100 kilometer. Reuse sites, reduce automobile use. When you live in dense area like city centers, yes, you drive, but you drive within the city drive, where you can even drive with a small car. Okay? Provide stewardship to nature and surrounding, reduce light pollution. All these are considered smart goals. Of course, this type of development where you develop villas with, you call it planners cul-de-sacs. See, dead end. Of course, it's a luxury villa, but imagine this guy want to go his school. See how the school is nearby, but he need to go this way. 1, 2, 3. And this is the only way to go to the school. Okay? Otherwise, they're here, but it's very far. But this guy who have a smart city design or planning, where you have many alternatives, where you can go to the school from different ways in a short time. Okay, the farthest option, of course, is more near than this. So we avoid cul-de-sacs. The next credit is access to quality transit. You mean you have bus station, bus stop, and so on. Someone will ask me, okay, how can I control that? I told you this is a credit. You can take it or you can leave it. Okay, all these are credits. You are collecting points. If you make full development, then you need to consider some transit station. If you are just building a building, then you need to select the land near to public transport. Even the price, in the normal life, the price of the land, when it have access to some quality transportation, it will be more expensive, of course. Access to quality transit. So this is the intent, encourage development with transportation facilities, okay, and reduce greenhouse gases. Why? When I have transportation means here public transportation, so I will not use my private car and use more petrol and travel long distance. We need to avoid greenhouse gases, but let's know now about, because I mentioned many times greenhouse gases, especially in transportation. The greenhouse gases consist of 4 components or more. Let's say the major are 4. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, NOx, and SOx. NOx is the source of smoke. SOx is the source of acid rain. CO2 is greenhouse gas. Why they call it greenhouse gas? Because it constitutes 80% 80% of the greenhouse gas. So that's why always we call GHG. Sometimes I say also CO2. Why? Because mostly CO2. Even when we calculate NOx and SOx, we transform these formulas to CO2 equivalent. We write CO2e. So always the calculation based on CO2. Okay? The calculation always based on CO2. So CO is poisonous gas. This all we call it greenhouse gases. Okay? This all we call greenhouse gas. Based on reaction from hydrocarbon, HC plus sulfur plus air, which oxygen and nitrogen, it will give us these components. Now we know what are the greenhouse gases. Yes. So the strategies you need here to remember the numbers, the requirements. Locate within half-mile walking distance of bus rapid transit BRT or train station, half mile, because these are major terminals. If bus stop, it should be quarter mile. Bus stop is just a small stop like this, where the bus stop on the route of its route, many stops, so it should be quarter mile. You need to remember this. So bus rapid transit, you know bus rapid transit, like many projects in Dubai, in here, Saudi Arabia, where we use the dedicated bus lane, we call it BRT. It can be dedicated or not dedicated, depends on the design, but at least there are operate in a times, specific times where these buses are running through the city. This streetcar is not considered BRT, but it considered like bus stops where to stop every few miles. It stops and it's very low speed, 3 mile per hour. Okay. Streetcars route extend 2 to 5 miles. Like it's within a neighborhood, like this streetcar can go through some major neighborhoods only. It's within quarter mile also. Ride share, where you go to the station and ride, this also can be counted if there is a ride share within quarter mile. All these are the strategies, okay, under this credit which we have. You need to remember all and by numbers and requirements for all. Okay, again, this is access to quality transit. Now we'll move to the next credit. Which is bicycle facilities. Bicycle facilities. Why bicycle facilities? Again, reduce greenhouse gas, promote efficient transportation, promote physical activity, or improve public health and physical activity. How to apply the bike lane? It should be bike lane like this, but it's not a mandatory. If no bike lanes, there is another option. You can do that bike racks within your building and showers and changing room. Showers and changing room only if commercial building. If residential, you don't need to provide showers and changing rooms. You just need to provide bike racks. Okay, the bike racks like this, where you can secure bike rack, like you can put your bike. So you encourage building occupant to use bike racks. What are the numbers? Distance calculation percentage. Percentage is not high. It's around 2.5%. And it has different calculation from visitors or building occupants or other types of buildings. So if you want the details and you are working in designing of this credit, go to bicycle facilities under LEED BD plus C reference guide. You will get all the details for the percentage and so on. For LEED GA level, we just need to know we have to design it like this. Should be there shower and changing rooms there. But in LEED BD plus C will tell you how many showers, how many changing rooms, how many bike racks required based on your building type. The next credit is parking footprint or reduce parking footprint. And the intent here is to minimize the environmental impact associated with parking facilities, including automobiles and so on. Maybe we think different here. We always think that parking, we need to provide more parking to occupant comfort and so on. No, we need to provide less parking. But the issue here, or the matter here, that I will not provide less parking just random without any alternatives. No, I provide alternative based on these strategies or alternatives. I will start to reduce because I have other ways. I let my employees use other types of transportation. That's why I reduced parking footprint for my building. So as a strategies, let's say, limit the number of parking to local zoning requirement. What does it mean? The local government told you to provide 100 parking for your building. So this is your maximum. So the maximum is government because I cannot reduce less than local zoning requirement. But you can go to the government or the authority that do, okay, and discuss with them that you will reduce parking less than the requirement of this authority. Why? Because I have one, two, three. I have public transport. I do this and do that, so I don't need this. So they will reduce to you. In this case, you take even more points. Okay. What's local zoning authority here? It's an agency which regulate open space requirement, like in the local government, local department, okay, local authority in your city. So what is the requirement for the parking? Here, limit the parking number to local zoning requirement. Of course, some more details are there. If you want to know, you need to go to LEED BD plus C. If you just want to for LEED exam, LEED GA, you need just to know this area. Another thing in addition to the first, which is providing parking for carpool vehicles. Carpool is a car which used by more than one. So if the car used by more than one engineer or one person, then they can park in these areas. Give advantage to cars with more than one person, carpool. The next credit is green vehicles. Before we move carpools, how you report it? Of course, in your design, you will just do something like carpool, 3 spaces for carpool, and you want to know the number. Go to BD plus C reference guide. It's around also 2.5% from the total parking space or whatever, depending on the requirement on the buildings. You will know and you will design it this way. It's very easy. But if you don't know it, you just miss it. Green vehicles. Reduce pollution by promoting alternatives to conventionally fuel mobile. What are the green vehicles? Green vehicles are, we call it low emission or low emitting fuel efficient vehicles. Low emitting fuel efficient vehicles. So emissions are less, fuel use is less. And makes sense. When the fuel use is less, emissions are less. Green vehicles are vehicles that have a credit of 45 score in achieved 45 score in this organization, American Council of Energy Efficient Economy, ACEEE, American Council of Energy Efficient Economy, ACEEE. So you need to go ACEEE, check your car if it achieves 45 or more. This is low emission fuel efficient vehicles. Also encourage carpool by giving the prefer parking for carpool here also and 20% discount. The last credit here in this category, location and transportation, is called LEED for ND development. We know that we have a system named LEED ND, which is master plan certification. But what is the relation for LEED ND and our LEED BD plus C here in location and transportation category? There is a connection. Why? I said location and transportation category. LEED neighborhood is a master plan. So it is like that. If your project location is located within a master plan that has obtained a LEED ND development certificate, you get some points. You are lucky or you get some points. Or maybe the owner mean it. He develops a master plan. He gets certification ND for master plan. He get another certification for the building BD plus C. In that case, there will be synergies like LEED ND will benefit your building. Your building will benefit the LEED ND also. You get it? But here it's more than that. It's more than that. It's more interesting. It's more interesting. Let's go to the. So if you're building here, LEED neighborhood development, this is a master plan. Identify your building here, 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 anywhere in the master plan of LEED ND. You know what will happen? What? You will not work in any credit in the location and transportation category. You will just inherit. Inherit يعني if you want to in Arabic تورث. You will inherit the score obtained from LEED ND. Meaning you will achieve the full score in the category of location and transportation without any effort. Yes, because already your project is LEED ND, and LEED ND all developed is development that focus on the location, transportation, accessibility, and so on. You got it? So uh, this is the last credit, and I keep it for the last because if you do this credit, you will not do any credit from the location and transportation category. You cannot do both. You cannot do both. You can do all the credits or this credit. You cannot. Why? Because this credit only have 16 points, and all other credits have also 16 points. You can do this or that. You cannot take 32. Okay. طيب, someone will ask me, okay, I will inherit the lead, so from the lead ND, so in location and transportation now, I will not work, I will take full score. No, it's not really full. It's based on the lead ND. If the lead ND platinum, you will take full score 16. If it's gold, you will take around 12 to 14. They will give you the point based on some eligibility or reference. If the lead ND becomes silver only, you will take maybe 8 points in this category. So it's a proportion also. Yeah, but at all in all, you will not work any credit here. You will just inherit the credits. Clear? Any question here? I need question if you have. Because sometimes I go in more details. I feel you still don't, and because everyone is silent. So I just want this interaction or online live not recorded. If recorded, you can go to my website and go just listen to the recorded lectures and answer the simulations. Okay, but this is interactive, so and it's specifically for you only, for your company. So you can speak, you can participate, no issue. Okay. And this was the last credit in this category. A smart growth we have discussed already. So as a summary, we discussed these credits: sensitive land protection, high priority sites, surrounding density and diverse uses, access to quality transit, bicycle facilities, reduced parking footprint, green vehicles, lead neighborhood development, the last one. Now it's time to quiz. Quiz here. Yes, location and transportation. Like what we did before, I will answer. Let me share the screen again. Like what we did before, I will answer with you now some questions. How many? Let's say 16. So I will answer with you 8, and the 8 will be homework. Like what we did before, I will answer 1, 3, 4, and so on. Okay. Question number 1. Let's say Engineer Ahmed Wahba. Go ahead. Please read it and try with us to find the answer. Okay. Engineer Arsh Islamuddin. Question number 1. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. The answer is D. Okay, D. What are the environmental benefits of selecting a previously developed site? The site would have a greater development density. The site would be located near mass transit. The tax saving may be available, preserving open space. Of course, yes, you are right, engineer, preserving open space. Question number 3. Engineer, I just want to know, are there all the people here in front of me, 15, are there in their seats or no? Because nobody answered except 2 or 3. Engineer will take from last, Samer Idris. 3, number 3.
Number 3. What is the brownfield? Previously used or redeveloped land that may be contaminated with hazardous waste or pollution. A.
Yes, exactly. Contaminated brownfield is a contaminated site. Question number 5, Engineer Rawaf. Let me just make it for you.
Hello. Okay. A project team wants to reuse a building in a historical district for a project. Which of the following credit areas will this aid? Choose two. I would go with B and D.
Yes, because when I develop in historic district, I prevent I sensitive sites protection and high priority sites, which is option 1 in credit high priority sites. Okay. Green vehicle and protecting or restoring habitat. This will be actually number A will be a credit in sustainable sites, the next chapter. So you get it right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Number 7, Engineer Muhaymin Idris.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Which of the following is not a type of diverse use? A police station, a public park, an ATM, a barber shop. Number C.
Exactly. Thank you. Correct answer. ATM is not a public service, and we highlighted it. Question number 9. Engineer Muhammad Javid.
Yes, sir, I am here.
Yes, okay. Please go ahead.
Which of the following not type quality can lead vehicle? It's B.
No, ride share is a quality transit because you're sharing some ride share and carpool, streetcar, even bicycle taxi that will be human powered. with 2 people. It's a
Which of
taxi
not
stand.
a transit?
Yeah, taxi stand. Because taxi always run to move one people or one or two. Taxi stand is not. We say bus stop, right? Not taxi stand. Okay, number 11. Next, who's next? Engineer Mustafa Gad.
Locates a building close to the bicycle network, which is the following project element should decrease: parking, surrounding density, rainwater runoff, numbers of device uses. Parking.
If a project owner locate the building close to bicycle network, which of the following project element could decrease? For sure, the parking, right? Because I'll use bicycles, so I will reduce my use
The
in
bicycle network.
yes. Close to bicycle network, which of the following project element could decrease? If I have bicycle network, so most probably I will use it. So I will use bicycle. So I will reduce the parking for my cars. I will not use my car. Okay. So I will take advantage of having network and buy bicycle and use. Most probably this thinking, but not the density, not the rainwater, not the number of diverse use. It's not related things. But since it's a bicycle network, okay, if you have playground in front of your home, most probably you'll go and play there. So encourage you to make some sports. The same here. So you reduce parking and you will leave your car most of the time and use the bicycle network. So parking will be reduced. Number 13. 13, okay. 13, engineer. Low and. I just choose the people who I know some engineers are very, very dedicated to the course, but I just want to hear from others that never speak. Who engineer low and? They're right here like this, low and. Are you there? Okay, cannot speak. You write D. Okay, let's read it. A vehicle meeting which standard would consider green vehicle? Exactly, ACEEE. Easy question. You are lucky. Question number 15. Engineer Khalid Sharif.
Yes.
See, the question is little bit tricky. We say, which of the following would have the greatest impact on the avoidance of developing on an inappropriate site? If I avoid develop in an appropriate site, and I develop in a green field, no. Huh? So I avoid develop in green field. So which of the following of these A, B, D plus C would have the greatest impact? Reduce construction activity, pollution prevention. This is not in here, this chapter, it's next chapter. Locate in area with diverse use. Yes, maybe. Choosing site in a lead for neighborhood development. Also, this may be implementing rainwater management. Rainwater and reduce construction activity. Anyway, you will do it, and this is another. This in water chapter, this in sustainable site chapter. So it's B or C, guys. C, choosing site. Yes, C, developing site with neighborhood development have the greatest impact. Why? You can take all the credits of the LEED ND. And of course, this LEED ND have considered many aspects of all aspects of the site, including everything. So I think this is the greatest impact. It comes after that, be locating with area with diverse use. But this is just part of the credit. But this one, it gives you full category. I think that was the last. I hope I will put these questions on the link along with the videos. And I will send it to the Google Drive or Google link, which you will receive. If you cannot receive, you can contact Dr. Ayman. And I believe I should have these questions all, including today's homework, by Monday. By Monday. Let's say Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday is good. Okay, Wednesday. Let's make it Wednesday. So you have 5 days to study first. 5 days is good, not bad. Every day, half hour only listening to the video, half hour. In your break time, at your work, not at home. While you're having your lunch, open the video, half hour every day. You finish the 3 hours in 5 days. Okay? So I wish you all the best and see you next week in the same time, inshallah, for the next chapter, sustainable sites, and the next chapter, water efficiency. And I believe we can finish in another 4 lectures maximum. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, engineer.
Thank you very much.